UFC 199. Did you check it out? We're at the Spike Awards, so I missed it live. Right when I came home, I turned it on, and it was the main event. Bisping and Rockhold walking out. I'm like, all right, I'll check the main event, and then I'll work my way back.
Wow.
I woke my kid up. I woke my baby up, who, he's a heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
When a kid goes to sleep, you don't wake that little sucker up, especially my little monster.
That's right.
I jumped out going, oh, shit. Oh my God. I couldn't fathom it.
Yeah.
You're talking about Bisping, who just a year ago, got dismantled by Rockhold.
Just dismantled.
Rockhold, you got to talk. You're going to have to talk, especially championship bout. Might be the biggest upset in UFC history. When you talk about what's on the line, you talk about the caliber fighter Rockhold was.
Yes.
You can't say Anderson Silva Weidman.
Yes.
That's an older Anderson Silva.
Yes.
That's a more weathered Anderson Silva. Luke Rockhold is in his prime. They do not come any better or more talented or better looking than Luke Rockhold right now.
Right.
For him to get knocked out
Yeah.
by an older Bisping with one eye, with a left hook. Oh, and Bisping, when's the last time Bisping knocked somebody out?
I know.
And go. Doesn't do it very often.
And I want to ask you a question.
I'm telling you, to me, I got emotional. It was a big emotional weekend. I got emotional because Bisping is a guy, 10 fucking years in the game.
Yes.
10 years, he's been main events. He's never lost in the UK. He's a guy who's been through it all.
Yep.
His one close title shot, he title eliminator, he lost to Chael Sonnen. Most people think he won.
Yep.
Now, do this for me. And I tweeted this out, I Instagrammed this out. Go back through Bisping's career, and if there's the strict drug testing, Bisping probably doesn't lose those fights. Bisping, he doesn't lose to a lot of those guys. Most of the guys he lost to, all
tested.
All for sure have tested positive, or we know for a fact we're on TRT.
Wow.
He lost to only guys really that are on TRT, except for Tim Kennedy.
Wow.
Now, so it's just perfect timing. You can't write this shit. You can't write this.
How old is Bisping, please?
He's 37, I believe.
He's
God
37,
damn,
but he has
what
a
a sweet
ton
victory.
of fights. He has a ton of
Well,
fights.
dude, we were watching with him. We were watching Bisping's fights when he was 14 and 15. He was having fist fights. I mean, you can look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, he would do kickboxing.
He's been fighting since he was that age.
He's been fighting forever. But you're talking about a guy, man, where the UFC was never going to give that guy a title shot. He just beat Anderson Silva, an older Anderson Silva. It just wasn't going to happen. Then on 12 days' notice, like, hey, man, all right, fuck it. Here's your shot.
Great.
You crawled through all this shit like Andy Dufresne.
Yeah.
Here's your shot. Oh, but on the other end to get to Mexico, it's the best 185er in the world, and he just beat the fuck out of you last year. Oh, and here's 12 days. You're shooting a movie with Vin Diesel? Yeah. Here's 12 days.
Isn't that amazing?
I was like, holy fuck.
Isn't
Look
that
at the
amazing?
odds.
Isn't
Look
that
at the
amazing?
odds.
Yeah.
The UFC gods, fuck the UFC gods. The MMA gods do not give a fuck
do not give a
about
fuck.
Dana White's plans.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You want Mount Rushmore? You can't have Mount Rushmore.
No.
Ronda was on there, and then UFC gods said, oh my God. Holly Holm. Bisping, listen, man, 10 years, it's been a rough road. Rockhold, dude, look at that. Knocked out. That's a Conor McGregor, dude. Fucking luck of the Irish. Yeah, this what the fuck are we doing? How can you do it?
It sounds like the gods are sneezing.
Yeah.
It sounds like the gods are sneezing hard.
And killing people.
Yeah.
And by killing, I mean career.
Every time they sneeze, somebody's shin, foot, or fist lands in somebody's head, or they get choked out.
Unconscious. The UFC guy's like, yeah, you got plans to do that? That's cool. Oh, you're bringing Brock Lesnar back? Oh, that's fantastic. He's a huge draw because no one else on that card is a draw, so you need to save it. So he sent out the Brock Lesnar sign, so you need someone to get pay-per-view numbers. Let's bring old-ass Brock back. Oh, wait. The MMA gods. Here's Mark Hunt. What?
They're giving him Mark. They're going to give Mark.
Get your ass back to faking.
Bad idea.
Huh? We'll get into that. But UFC 189 was dope.
Yeah.
My boy Brian Ortega, 199. My boy Brian Ortega showed up.
Tri-City.
He was probably losing that fight.
Yeah.
I had him down to
it was close. At least one. It was fucking close.
He's got a big head. I was looking at his head next to
Ortega?
Rockhold's. Yeah. He seems like a handsome
Ortega?
guy.
Brian?
Yeah. Handsome guy.
55er.
Yeah, his head looks. Well, I guess at the press conference, I watched that post.
Oh,
we'll
not
get
in
into
person.
That.
No,
okay,
he's
not
a
in
smaller
person.
dude.
Okay,
No, he's
must have been
real
the
small.
angle.
No, that's not him.
Right.
Yeah.
Handsome guy. Handsome kid.
Yeah. Just a great win for him, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's
great
two
win.
in
He's
a
a guy
row,
who
right?
just. Oh, that's.
Well, I'm
four
saying
in a row.
last.
Four in a row.
4 in a row.
Four in a row.
Wow.
For him. 3 or 4 in a row. Might be 3. Either way, he's on a win streak.
Yeah.
But he's a guy who he loses, and then just pulls it out. He's fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
He's giving me trouble.
Now, can I ask you? Let's get back to the Bisping Rockhold fight.
What do you do with these two
Well,
now?
no. So I wanted to ask you because what I noticed with Rockhold was that he was kind of doing that Philly shell, that cross guard that only one guy in the world does well, which is
Well, no, it's not
Floyd
even the
Mayweather.
Philly shell. Like, I love when guys lose. Everyone critiques a guy's style. His style is amazing. He can keep doing his style. He's been,
But he was-
he's
wasn't
been the
he
best.
coming
He's been
close
the
with his
best in the
hands
world at doing
down,
it.
though?
No, he just didn't respect Bisping at all.
Okay, but that's
So
what
he
I mean.
just wasn't. He always fights like that,
Right.
but he just had no respect. Zero respect. When you have zero respect, you're not aware of the shots. You're not aware of angles.
Right.
You're not aware of certain punches. So he's literally like, he can't do anything. You know how dangerous that is?
with Bisping.
Well, I'm with Rockhold on this. Bisping's not a knockout artist, so you're not really going to respect his punching power.
But he was literally
it was-
walking up to him with his arms
No
down.
respect.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
But
And then
Rockhold's
kinda-
not a guy who fights with his arms up. He's never been that guy.
But he keeps more distance because he does that. He kicks and stuff.
Again,
and,
no
yeah,
respect.
Right.
No, how nuts is that?
Well-
But like that again, the MMA guys go, I don't give a fuck how good looking famous you are. You're gonna eat a left hook to the grill.
Yeah.
And fish and chips.
Why did because when I watched that post-fight press conference, Luke started like this. He started going, I've said he's dangerous. I've always said he's dangerous, and I was trying some new stuff. Jab, it was working in camp, and you got to, I was moving a little too quickly with it, and stuff. And then somebody goes, well, was it tough to lose to Michael Bisping? And he goes, yeah, what a piece of fucking shit this guy. And he just went bad on him so hard, so quickly. Was that because Bisping was kind of gloating at the end of it or something? Or
I think so, but Luke asked for it. It's a fight, man. It's a fight. So they both talk shit, and then Luke basically was just discrediting him, and he beat him before. So
yeah.
the thing about Bisping, he's very, he's a polarizing fighter because people either fucking love that guy or they hate him. There's no in between. That's what you want, by the way. You need one or the other. You need both.
Well,
You
I think
can't have
after
just-
the fight,
no one's just one. You
Yeah.
know, as if everyone hates you, you're doing something wrong. But he's a guy who talks all this shit, and then listen, man.
What did he say to
deserved
Luke
it.
at the end of the fight? He said something like, "What just happened?" Or "Who are you again? Who are you?" Something like that. That's what pissed off Luke. Like he was kind of gloating after knocking him out, which is a little uncool.
Not really. I mean, Luke does it. Guys do it. It's fighting. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, like
cool?
Luke said, I helped you up off the canvas and told you good job.
After
You
he choked him out.
Yeah, you jumped around and said, "Who are you again?" And we're taunting him, I think, and that's what really pissed Luke off. Look, I don't know, man. It's drama. It's
gives a
drama, but it's
fuck?
fun to watch when they're that angry at each other.
And then you hear
'Cause I
what
believe
Rockhold
that.
said to him? He was, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Yes.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Easy.
And then Bisping goes,
He dropped the F-bomb.
He goes, you gotta take 6 months
days?
off. You gotta take 6 months off. So just relax. Take a time out. He was so angry. Rockhold
Dude,
was so
he'll get under your skin so bad.
Oh, my
Bisping's
God.
a great shit talker. Me and that guy have worked a lot together. That dude has a mouthpiece on
he's
him.
from
He
England.
dropped an F-bomb, though, which is a little tough.
He called him a
Call him a faggot.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He said, "You're not gonna do shit, faggot."
Who said
When's the
that?
last time you heard a faggot? Bisping said that.
Faggot, we should take the word faggot and take it away from making fun of gay people, and maybe it should be used for people who are weak, but it's still got violent connotations,
That's exactly what it means, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
an offensive word to people.
very
Because
offensive
why? Because it's violent.
Well, it's
It
like
was used. It was used
for,
when they were
for
kicking
homosexuals. It's like using the N-word for black people. It's something you just can't
because they were
do.
getting killed and
Yes.
kicked to death while they were
Yeah.
being called
You
that
can't
word.
use the F-bomb. That's where even I'm like, God damn, Bisping, let's take it a little
Yeah.
easy, man.
Yeah.
I'm all for the shit talking. Yeah, you can't drop the F-bomb.
Yeah.
Can't drop the F-bomb. Can't drop the N-bomb.
Yeah.
Two things you can't do.
I
in
agree.
fighting. Everything else,
We've come a long way that we're saying that too. We've come a long because in my lifetime that was an acceptable word.
but you've never used it.
I never did.
I've never used
I don't
it.
like making people feel bad for who they are. I don't like that shit.
What do you
I'm not a
do
bully.
with Rockhold and Bisping now? Bisping, obviously, he's shooting his movie, so he's getting a little time. If I'm Bisping, I fucking milk this. Oh man.
Make some money. Well, the rematch is
I
going to
do
be sick.
appearances. There won't be a rematch. They do appearances. They do all this. I bet they give Bisping maybe Anderson Silva 2. They might give him Jacare.
Wait.
I bet they don't
Wait,
do
why-
Rockhold.
why not?
They're gonna do Weidman Rockhold 2. That's what I
really?
think. Or maybe they go Weidman Bisping.
No, you got to give Rockhold's chomping the
It
bit.
doesn't work like that, Brian.
No.
Why does it work like that? Name a fighter. Ask Aldo how it worked out.
Yeah, but
Ask Holly.
I
how
feel
it
like there's
worked out.
first of all, I feel like there's a lot of interest in that fight again. Or you're saying that they're going to give him the next in line because Luke's got to take 6 months off.
Yeah.
But does Bisping? I mean, can he say I want 6 months? I want to take 6 months off. When will they fight him again?
You can. I mean, they'll threaten you, but you're champ. Who gives a fuck? But then they threaten you with like, well, we're gonna strip the belt. If I'm Bisping, I'm like, hey man, shoot a movie. I got one eye.
Give me 6 months to be the champ.
You're gonna throw me a killer.
Yeah. Give me
It's
six.
gonna be tough to win the next one.
Yes,
I'm gonna milk this.
Give me 6 months to be the champ, and we know now we want to see Rockhold get his revenge. What are we talking about? It's more entertaining to wait.
It is 1-1.
Of course, it's more entertaining. It's 1-1. What the fuck are we talking
If I'm
about?
Bisping, I might just be like, peace, champ.
That's not.
That's
what
I would do.
That's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad.
Do what? Peace.
Now here's what I do. I say to Dana White, I go, Dana,
I need $3
listen to
million.
me.
I'm
I
doing
need
shit.
$3 million to fight Luke Rockhold. That's who I'm fighting, and then I'm going to retire. That's what I do, and I will give the belt to whoever.
Yep.
That's what I do. It's fucking.
That's not a
great
bad idea.
Yeah, get out.
I don't see
You've
him
done
doing it, though.
What a sweet way to end.
You can't write that.
a career.
You can't
What a
write that. I was I sent him
God.
a long text. I sent him like, dude, no. And training with Bisping, he has this work ethic where even when we're drilling, he does not stop. Everything's intense. His cardio's intense. He's trying to mimic the fight.
Never gets tired.
He does not stop. All he thinks about, dreams about, eats is fighting. He loves it, man.
He's amazing.
When I say this, no one on the UFC roster deserves more to be UFC champion than Michael Bisping.
Well, you and I talked.
It's not even close.
We were talking to him when we did that thing on UFC Now, and we're just talking about how he never gets tired and what you were talking about his work ethic and just how he just.
Yeah, I
is,
just said that.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
he's
said
a beast.
that. Yep, just said that.
But he's a beast.
And then you went back over it.
He's a beast.
Yeah, I just said that. He, yeah, man, no one deserves him more.
He's a
You're
beast.
talking about a guy at the end of his career. How about his year? Beat Anderson Silva, just knocked out Luke Rockhold. It's nuts.
It's
What a
great
fucking
way
year,
Great way
man.
to end his career.